today. Garrett Atkins was drafted in the 5th round of the 2000 amateur draft by the Colorado Rockies and enjoyed an 8-year major league career, but it began in Cotuit, and Garrett will be presented for induction by fellow UCLA alum and noted sports attorney Jeff Blank, who has known Garrett since 1997, when Garrett was a freshman at school, and Jeff was the student SID for baseball. And in addition to his law practice, Jeff teaches sports law at UCal Irvine. To present Garrett Atkins for induction, here is Jeff Blank.
It's an honor to be here with all these members of the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame. It's bringing back memories of when I was out here watching Garrett play back in 1999. And Scott mentioned that I first met Garrett back in 1997. And actually Garrett started his freshman year in 97, but I always made an effort to try to meet freshmen in the fall. And Garrett, though, I tried to meet, and I only got one-word answers. Hello. On a good day, it might be, hey, what's up? So it wasn't really until 1998, when the season started, that I actually got to meet Garrett, because he knew I was the SID, and he's smart and savvy, and knew that I could determine if a hit would be a hit or an error. So Garrett started communicating with me. Not in person, but on email and instant message. Sometimes while we were actually in the same room together. But I got to know him, and he had an incredible season. Didn't need my help. He batted .383. Well, it would have been .356 without my help. But still did an incredible job. School record 33-game hitting streak, and came out to the Cape Cod League and hit the same identical .383 while with Cotuit in the Cape Cod League. And the following summer, topped that up by an all-star MVP on the West squad, and then in the playoffs, what an incredible run he had. Cotuit was down 1-0 in Game 2 of the playoffs, down 2-1 in the 9th inning, and Garrett had a huge hit to keep the rally going, scored the game-winning run, forced a Game 3, made sure there was no need for late inning heroics in Game 3 by singling home a run in the 1st inning and hitting a monstrous opposite field home run in that game as well to earn postseason MVP honors. I would have come out and watched that, but I had come out earlier in the summer, and those were about the only 2 games Garrett didn't get a hit all summer, so I was banned from coming out, but I enjoyed listening to those games and writing a bunch of press releases for UCLA to advertise what Garrett did. And Garrett kind of gave me the honor of and entrusted me to represent him as a sports attorney, and got to negotiate his first contract. And when they were questioning whether he could hit with the wood bat, all I had to do was say .383 Cape Cod League, and they paid up. Garrett went on for a great Major League Baseball career. Being a stat guy, got to reel off at least 1 or 2 stats. Between 06 and 08, he was one of 6 major leaguers with at least 550 hits and 75 home runs and 300 RBIs. And he also showed great versatility. He was one of the first players since 1992 to start 60 games at first base and 60 games at third base in the same season. And he even played 1 game at second base when there were some injuries, and he volunteered to step up and play second base. And I've never seen him run so fast in my life, going after ground balls hit up the middle. But I gave him good practice chasing after his 1-year-old son, Thomas, which he's been doing all weekend here. And had an incredible Major League career. Led the Rockies to the World Series back in 2007, and I think that was aided in part by the playoff experience that he got in the Cape Cod League, and it's been an honor being Garrett's friend and representing him. He's a man of few words, but he's got great character, loyalty, and integrity. I think the over-under on his speech here today is about 1 minute 30 seconds. I took the under, but it is my honor to introduce for induction into the Cape Cod Baseball League Hall of Fame, Mr. Garrett Atkins.
All right, thanks, Jeff. I knew that would be hard to follow. I want to thank the Cape Cod League Hall of Fame for such a great honor. I was lucky enough to spend 2 summers here with the Cotuit Cavaliers back in 1998 and 1999. I was also extremely lucky to end up with a great host family, Bernie and Jeff Reiner. They opened up their home to me and my family and made my Cape experience something I'll always remember. I only wish I would have been a better role model for their young boys. I don't think they like that at all to bed at 11 a.m. every day. Having a young son now, I can only wish I could sleep that long. My first year for the Cavaliers was forgettable one. The team didn't do too well. All I remember that year was losing the batting top by 1 point and going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in the All-Star game. One of the highlights from that year was being honored at Fenway Park and getting to walk on the field. No idea that about 10 years later we'd be playing on that same field and getting the privilege to play in the World Series. Although we lost, it was still a great experience and part of many fond memories of the Boston area. And the home run was off Okajima, not Lester. My second year in the Cape was a lot more fun, partly because I was able to convince my good friend Chase Utley to come play for the Cavaliers. I like things because he wanted to play with me. However, I think it was because my GM promised him a host family lived right on the beach right next to me. So good job, Bruce. That year we had a much better team with several big leaguers on them. My personal stats weren't quite as good, but I was able to improve my All-Star game performance, winning the MVP. From a team standpoint, we fared much better. Winning the Cape League Championship. I wish I remember more details, but apparently I hit a home run. At least that's what Paul told me last night. My Cape experience was so important to my development as a baseball player. I'd like everybody here that made that possible. The volunteers, the individuals who run the leagues, the GMs, the coaches, and most of all the host families who invite us to their home every year. The league wouldn't be possible without them. And I also thank my parents for being supportive of my career, being here tonight and watching me receive this great honor. And I thank my fiance and my son for coming here and watching mumble a few words. Thank you.
Jeff, you took the under, you lose. You went about 2 minutes. So in the Cape League, you hit 383 without his help, huh? Take that, Jeff Blank, right? By the way, spoken like a true sports agent. All the stats are right up here. There are no notes. He knows exactly what his client has done on the baseball field. So thank you very much to both of you, and congratulations. Well, our next inductee.